I can tell you as far as operating in Texas and opportunities for growth, the potential there is absolutely massive because of the proliferation of shale, which is just west of us in Midland. That's about 2 hours west of us, and then to New Mexico. All the big companies are focused over there. The big private equity is focused over there. So there's a ton of opportunity for us to grow in Texas.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Mark Vanry. He is the CEO of Wedgemount Resources. And Mark, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, excited to have you along and learn about what's going on with the company. I know it's pretty busy right now. We'll talk about that in just a second. But for those maybe not familiar with Wedgemount Resources, give me a bit of background on the company. Fairly new, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a new E&P company focused in West Central Texas on the eastern shelf of the Permian Basin. We started, for all intents and purposes, in April of 2023 with our first two acquisitions. And up to this date, we've now done four acquisitions in West Central Texas. Our strategy is to buy either financially or operationally distressed properties, ideally a combination of both, conventional producing properties in West Central Texas, and we optimize and enhance the existing wells and existing infrastructure to grow production and grow reserves and hence create value for shareholders. So I'm based in Canada. The rest of the team is based in San Antonio, Texas. We have a boatload of expertise in this part of Texas with these types of wells, with the issues that addressing the issues that operators face down there. So
Absolutely.
that's a bit about the company. So we're fairly new. We're about 15 months old.
Yeah, and you've just made another one of those acquisitions recently, and that's it's called Huggy, as a matter of fact. And you provided a bit of an update on what's been going on there. And is that fit into the criteria of what you were talking about this particular asset?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. So the Huggy asset, which is by far, in a way, the largest of the deals that we've done to date, it's 119 producing wells and 8 injectors. It's directly adjacent to our existing assets, which are about 30 minutes south of the city of Abilene, Texas, which is a city of about 200,000 people in West Central Texas. Those assets are operationally and technically, and as far as the reservoirs, geologically rather, very similar to the assets that we have to date. So we understand the issues with those assets, the issues with the infrastructure, and everything we need to do to enhance and optimize those wells to grow production and hence grow cash flows for the company. So this was a big deal. It more than quadrupled the size of our company. Prior to the acquisition, we had 25 wells. We're now up to 136 wells. So we have a ton of running room in which to grow production and reserves with these assets. The press release we put out last week really just updated investors on what we're doing in the field to date. Of the 119 wells we acquired, only 44 were producing at the time of the acquisition. We're now up to about 70 wells that are up and producing. So our teams are in the field. We've got 2 workover rigs going, taking care of everything from the wells to the surface facilities to the flow lines. So the ramp up which started when we took over operatorship in September, will continue through the next couple of years, just on the existing wells, where we think we have a ton of room to grow.
Yeah, Mark, just on the oil and gas industry itself, what are you seeing right now as far as growth from that particular sector? It's been depends on who you talk to where oil and gas is going. But what's your take as someone who's really operating in an area that's so vital and so important to Texas, obviously, but also to the U.S.?
Yeah, I think I look at it on a global basis, certainly as far as how it impacts us, because at the end of the day, it's about what kind of pricing we can realize, at least on the oil side. The natural gas side is more of a domestic market. But I can tell you, as far as operating in Texas and opportunities for growth, the potential there is absolutely massive because of the proliferation of shale, which is just west of us in Midland. That's about 2 hours west of us, and then to New Mexico. All the big companies are focused over there. The big private equity is focused over there. So there's a ton of opportunity for us to grow in Texas. And I would say, as far as regulators in Texas, the banks in Texas, and everyone involved in the industry, it's really about how they can help you grow. So we really like it. So as far as for us in Texas, we think we can grow a lot. As far as the global market, which I think maybe was the point you were hitting on there as well, global demand is 103.5 million barrels a day. we think by 2030, and you can talk to a lot of pundits in the market out there, that global demand will be over 110 million barrels a day. Global decline is 18 to 20% a year. So we need to add a lot of barrels globally just to meet demand. Currently, I think the market is, worried about oversupply, and OPEC spare capacity, which is about 3 million barrels a day. There's a lot of geopolitical risk out there as well, but I think the market's concerned about demand out of China and some of the OECD countries. But overall, we have a longer term view. We don't worry about the price month to month. We're really focused on the next few years. And we think, again, demand for hydrocarbons is going to continue to grow for many, many, many years. And being in Texas, we think we're in a jurisdiction where we've got the ability to grow with the support of the regulators down there. So love the opportunity down here, but there's always going to be ups and downs in the oil and gas markets as far as pricing.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like it's gonna be a busy time. We're glad you made time for us, Mark. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Thanks so much, Steve. Really appreciate it.
All right, there's Mark Vanry. He's the CEO of Wedgemount Resources.